Buckle up, everybody, because this is going to be a long one. Hi, I'm Sharon, and this is episode 10 of Sampler Style Flosstube. Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 10. Thank you so very much for joining me, and it's very exciting. I have reached a milestone. I have reached 1,000 subscribers, over 1,000. Thank you so very much. And if you haven't subscribed, please put a like down below and subscribe. So I'm going to do a giveaway today, but I'm going to do that at the very end in case you're not interested or whatever. But I have some things. I have a chart. I have 2 kits, including linen, and I have some linen to give away. So stay tuned for that at the very end. I had a great holiday. I think I recorded before Christmas. Christmas was great. And maybe it was, I don't remember. Guys, sorry. We just got back from vacation. The date today is February 5th, 2022, and we just got back from Disney World. My husband and I go once a year. We are DVC members, and we stay at Bay Lake Tower, and it's amazing, except this year it was less so because it was freezing cold in Florida. And when you're from New York and you go to Florida to escape a little bit of the winter we have here, and it's pretty much the same temperature. No, it wasn't, because it was 1 degree here, and it was 30 to 40 in Florida. I don't know. It was cold. We had a great time. It was great. But a lot of things that we like to do, like maybe have a pool day or go out to the parks at night, it just didn't happen because it was cold. But we made up for it. We had some great meals. We had some great cocktails. We had a great time. Despite the fact that, okay. At the end of our vacation, there was a blizzard. And luckily I noticed it way ahead of time. And I was able to change our flights. JetBlue now is letting you change flights with no penalty, which is awesome. I was able to get a flight the day before the blizzard, and thank goodness it went out. So we were home a day early, which kind of stunk. But we're going to go back in November this year. Hopefully we won't have to deal with hurricanes in November. And I got that night back, so we're going for 10 days instead of 9 days. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't been there at Christmas time in a long time, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. Let's talk about stitching. Maybe I'll put a chapter marker in here because I didn't mean to go on and on. So, I'm not recording my other show, the knitting show, for another 2 months because I'm having hand surgery. And I'm not going to be able to knit. So I'm not going to be recording that show. I'm having the surgery on Tuesday. I've had the surgery before. It should be fine. So, but anyway, I usually tell my personal life on that show. But anyway, so that's the deal with that. I've been stitching a lot. And I'm hoping I'll be able to stitch after I have the hand surgery. Look at this. I have Dupuytren's contracture. And I can't extend that finger any farther than that. I've had surgery on this hand before, so I know what I'm in for, and it's like 4 weeks of bandages and whatnot, because it's kind of a sensitive area. They have to cut like your hand, and I might need a skin graft. Hopefully I won't. So we'll see. So, but I can stitch with my right hand, so it's just going to be slow. But I've been doing a lot. I've been doing a lot of knitting and a lot of stitching just to catch up. So, or get ahead, anyway. So let me show you what I've been working on. So before the holidays, I showed you Winter Rose Manor. And I've had to do a lot of ripping on this chart. Here is Winter Rose Manor. It's a gorgeous chart. I'm pretty much using most of the called for threads. The pattern is by Brenda Gervais. I am stitching it on 36 count Lakeside Vintage pecan butter. And I've pretty much had to do a lot of ripping, which really was not fun. I don't mind ripping knitting, I do it all the time. Ripping stitching back, not so fun. So what happened was, when I started this roof here, I realized I was off by half a stitch. And some of you might say, well, who cares? It bugged me, because this house butts right up against these berries right here, and it was going to look terrible, at least in my eye. So I had to rip all of these berries out. I was off by half a stitch. That drives me nuts. I'm having a little trouble seeing this fabric. Probably because it's probably double dyed. Lakeside is often double dyed, and sometimes I have trouble seeing it. But it's all back in now. I ripped it out. I put it all back in. And what I did was I don't stitch at night. Well, I don't stitch in the late night. I go to bed around, so here's my evening. So I cook dinner. We have dinner. We're done around 7. I sit down and I stitch for about an hour and a half to 2 hours till about 9. And then I watch some TV, because I can't watch TV and stitch at the same time. But I can watch TV and knit at the same time. So I sit down and I knit for 2 hours till about 11 while I'm watching TV. So instead of knitting for a couple days, I just ripped this out. Then I realized on this side, I made a mistake in this border. Never again will I thought I was like really proud of myself. I got the border done first. I will never do that again, because I need to double check with the motifs whether the border is right, because this border is not correct on the right, on the left. So this motif, these motifs here where the flowers sit should have 11 stitches. This motif here only has 10, and I never noticed it. So that brought the pattern this side up a little bit, which wouldn't be that bad, because you can't, first of all, I'm not ripping this side out because you can't really see it. So, but what it did is it brought this side up a little bit, which wouldn't have been a problem because it doesn't matter. This isn't supposed to meet anyway, so it's like one stitch. This is one stitch lower, but it messed up this fence here. I had finished this fence, and to adjust, this house would have had to be one stitch less, and I didn't want to do that. I just didn't. So I'm ripping out, I'm in the process of ripping out the fence. I don't know if I'm going to rip out this motif. I might just add something to it so it'll sit on the fence. I haven't decided yet. I'll see how it looks. So it went in timeout for a little while, about a week. And then I pulled it back out again and I said, no, I'm going to stitch on this. I'm glad I started stitching on it again. I'm almost finished with the roof, and I'm almost ready to start this pink house, which I am here for. I can't wait to start that pink house. So these are the colors I'm using, mostly the called for, except for conch. I'm using Color and Cotton Sampler Peach, which is it's very close to conch, but it's definitely a little more, has a little more of the peach color in it. We'll see how that looks. I have the conch too. If I don't like the Sampler Peach, I'll just use the conch. So that's that one. So, I don't remember. I think I did record after Christmas because I remember showing you this. So, my next project, I got sucked into Modern Folk Embroidery's year-long stitch-along, and here it is. I'm showing you clues 1 and 2. This is clues 1 and 2 on my iPad. And this is how the whole thing will look. So I finished clue 1 like in 2 weeks. I'm stitching on this in the morning. I'm taking about an hour. Although this week I've been stitching on it longer. So I've been taking about an hour in the morning to stitch on it, and I finished clue 1, which is right here. And I started clue 2, and I made a modification. This is a crown right here, and it's being, in the original pattern, it's being held up by cherubs. And I'm not a fan of cherubs or angels. I'm just not. So I usually don't stitch samplers that have them, but this is a mystery, so I didn't know. But I changed it to a bird. And I think it looks pretty good. I like it. It remains to be seen whether it will stay, because I don't know what's happening on the other side. So if it interferes with the pattern on the other side, I'll either have to adjust it or rip it out and suck it up and stitch the angels. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it all looks when I finish the third clue. But that's the angel, and I kind of like the bird. I was trying to think of something that would make sense, that flies, that would hold something up, and a bird made sense. So I got the chart from Brenda Key's Sampler Motifs book, and I charted it on the iPad with a new app. Well, it's probably not a new app. You might know about this app, but the app I used was Stitchly. If you can see on my iPad, it's that one with the X. It costs $7 to purchase this app, and I like it. I also use Stitch Fiddle, which is an internet-based program online, and I think that there's advantages to both of them and disadvantages to both of them. It's a little easier to import the Stitchly chart into my GoodNotes app. And so the original bird kind of looked something like this, the one at the top. And I modified it. I just kind of beefed it up a little bit. I just started adding stitches where it would make sense, and I ended up with this bird here. So, yeah, I had to modify how far down this rope kind of went because it was running into the name, but it worked out. We'll see if it stays. I left the threads loose in the back. I didn't weave them in like I normally do in case it needs to get ripped out. So, yeah, that takes up time. That takes time out of my stitching time, which was fine. I'd rather have a sampler that I'm happy with rather than a sampler that I'm not that happy with. So I am stitching this on a fat half of Picture This Plus Legacy color in 40 count, and I'm using NPI, one of their blacks. I'll link it down below. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I love stitching in black. One of my first, actually the first sampler I ever finished, fully finished, was a sampler that I stitched in black for Erin. It was a Dungeons and Dragons chart. It was pretty cool. So, since Winter Rose Manor went into timeout, I needed something for my evening stitch. So on my birthday, which is January 16th, same day as Brenda from Brenda and the Cereal Starter, we're birthday twins. I'm older. She didn't start this chart, but that's fine. I started it because I had everything that I needed for it, and the chart is Jane Hopkins. This chart is insane, you guys. It's pretty much full coverage. I mean, but it's easy full coverage. And it doesn't have a lot of like fiddly color changes. The colors are pretty blocked together. So I don't really like patterns with a lot of color changes, but this one's pretty nice. So I'm going to show you my start. I am using VICKI CLAYTON silks, and I'm going to tell you how I like them in a minute. VICKI CLAYTON, I will link her website down below, has several charts where she has put together thread packs for, and it's amazing. So I purchased this from her website, and I am stitching this on a piece of Picture This Plus doubloon in 40 count, and here is my start. Pooh is keeping me company. He's my favorite Disney character. I love Pooh. You used to be able to meet Pooh in the Magic Kingdom at the Crystal Palace restaurant, and you can't anymore because of COVID. We don't want Pooh and his friends to catch it. So anyway, so this is the start of Jane Hopkins, and I love it. Look at this flower. Look at it. It's beautiful. Ugh. And it clashes with the one next to it. And I love it. It's fabulous. Oh my God. So pretty. And before I put her away, I had to start this big center flower. So that's what that leaf is coming out. It's so beautiful. So, I can't really show you the silks very well because I don't put silk on floss drops, and especially this silk. If you get VICKI CLAYTON silks, do not put them on floss drops, because while I love this silk, it's absolutely gorgeous. It is a little more delicate than other silks that I have used. It's more delicate than Glorianna, and it's more delicate than NPI. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, it's not quite as beefy. So it's definitely a lighter weight. And by the time you finish the 18-inch length, it does get a little frayed. So I only probably use 15 inches out of it. So I have them stored in these stackers that I got from Michaels. This is the tag for the stackers. I got them in Michaels. Amazon probably has them. And these are perfect for storing the silk. So I have them in here. You're not going to be able to see them because they're all on spools. And I would leave them on, I'm leaving them on the spools. And I'm just taking off 18 inches, snipping it, and then pulling from the 18 inches. And so these colors in this container are the ones I haven't used yet. There's like over 30 colors. It's insane. And these are the colors that I've started to use. I'm trying to keep them neat. So, like, sometimes you can tuck in on the bottom. It's been fine. I haven't had a problem with tangling, really. So, yeah, it's a great way to keep them organized and neat. And I don't use project bags very much because I pretty much only stitch next to my computer. I have a giant drawer that I keep all my stitching, my works in progress. And so I just keep them in there, and I don't really need project bags. But I do keep this in a Mickey Mouse project bag because I need somewhere to store these silks. And I have the project in here, sitting here until I'm ready to work on it again. So I will pick this back up when I finish Clue 2 of Modern Folk Embroidery. And this will be my morning stitch. So the Modern Folk Embroidery clues are taking me about 2 weeks to do. And then for the rest of the month, I've been working on this in the mornings. And I love it. And slow and steady wins the race, right? Famous last words. So those are the only 3 projects that I have been working on. So today I thought that I would show you my kits. I have a bunch of kits. I have only been a stitcher with a capital S for about a year and a half, I'd say. And all of these charts I'm going to show you have been obtained in that year and a half. And I will get more. I know I will. But I do like big projects. I have trouble working on smalls because I just love big projects. I'm like that with knitting too. I love knitting. I knit the sweater. I love knitting sweaters, big shawls, and I'm not so much into the smaller, like I don't knit hats. Sometimes I'll knit a mitten or 2. So anyway, I'm going to show you my kits. So this is in a rough order from kind of oldest, to newest. Sort of. Alright, so last fall I placed an order with 1, 2, 3 stitch, and I'm calling these smaller charts. So I have this one, Sweater Weather by Plum Street, adorable. And I have all the threads. I actually think this was a gift from Erin last Christmas, not this past Christmas. This was when I didn't have a lot. I do now. Oh yeah, these are a lot of Erin gave me these. Here is Heartstring Samplery Honeybee Pin Drum. And the threads. I didn't really have a fabric. I'm sure I have one now that I could use, but at the time I didn't. So I wanted to start that, and I never did. But I will at some point. It's a small, though. I have this adorable little chart that Erin gave me, and this is Threadneedle Street by Annie B's Folk Art, which is unusual. I had never seen this before. It's super cute. and then threads. And then I purchased this one. I'm in love with this chart. Plum Street Samplers Cinnamon Stars, because of that house and those really cool bricks. I love the bricks on this house. And I have all the threads. I got this one from 123 Stitch last fall. A year ago, from I think fall of 2020, I had gotten this. So they're sitting in my stash, and I will be, at some point. This next one is a big one. This I fell in love with also. I saw it on Flosstube. Carol Saltbox Stitcher finished it, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I love it so very much. This is Ghoultide Welcome by Plum Street. And I have the full kit that I purchased from 123 Stitch, and I have it actually ready to go. I have them all on. I have the MPIs because of course I do. I have them all ready to go on here in floss away bags. And I actually did a it's not even a start. I just put some stitches in the fabric because this was going to be my dark 13 stitching this year. It still might be, but I think I want to finish Away We Ride. So we'll see. See what I'm in the mood for. So this is on a piece of X-Jude Designs 40 count. Sorry, I don't know the name of the fabric, but it's beautiful. Oh, Spilled Coffee. It's stunning. And here's my teeny weeny itsy bitsy start. I just wanted to see if I liked this fabric for this project, and I do. It's beautiful. So when I don't know, I haven't decided what I'm going to do because it's gorgeous. I love silk. I like stitching with silk. Not that I'm never going to stitch with cotton. I do stitch. I have Winter Rose Manor all in hand dyed cottons. So I love that, and I love DMC. I am getting ready to possibly start a project with DMC, which I'm not going to show you this week. Little teaser for next time when I come back, and you'll see it then. I got this next chart from Kitten Stitcher, and this is Hannah Carter 1838. It's a marking sampler, and I love it. I was thinking of starting it for Black November stitching from Modern Folk Embroidery, and I didn't get around to it. But that's okay. So I just love it. So the fabric I chose was Picture This Plus 36 count ancient. It's really cool. And I'm using, or I haven't started it. I have this is over dyed cottons. This is Blackboard, which is kind of a deep gray, which I thought would look real pretty with the ancient. A lot of alphabets. I like alphabets in small doses, so that's what's keeping me from starting this. I have that other alphabet one in red that I've shown you in the past, and that's sitting in hibernation. You know, it's beautiful, but I have to be in the mood to stitch alphabets. So, this next chart I also obtained in 2020. I completely fell in love with this. And I don't have fabric for it yet, which is why I haven't started. I probably could find fabric in my stash. But I don't know. It's supposed to be on Vintage Autumn Gold by Lakeside, which I will never get. I probably won't be able to get any more Lakeside for a long time. And I'm open to other fabrics, so we'll see. But this is 7 Sheep Sampler, because, hello, I have to do sheep. I would classify this almost as an Adam and Eve sampler without them being Adam and Eve. Because the people are they're just dressed as farmers, but it's definitely an Adam and Eve style. And it's beautiful. I love the border, even though it will drive me nuts. I still love it. And I have all the called for silks. Most of them in Glorianna. And Glorianna is not easy to get nowadays. But I collected them. I've collected them over time. I also have the cotton. But I decided to do it in silk. So... But I'm just waiting on the right fabric. Maybe I am in Treehouse Fiber Arts Fabric Club in collaboration with Legacy Fiber Arts linens, like LFA linens. So maybe I'll get a linen that would be appropriate for this with that club. Because I switched it to, I'm getting a fat half, so maybe that'll work. We'll see. These next two are some holiday kits that I have. I don't have all of the threads for this one, but this is Raven Bewitched. And I love it. I think it's by Blackbird. Yep. And I just love these Norwegian-ish stars. Love them. But I don't have all the threads. Just have some. I need to get to my LYS. She will probably have them. Because she has all the threads. And another holiday chart that... Where did I get this? I might have gotten this at my LYS, I'm thinking. This is Reindeer Games by Kathy Berg. And I have... Some are DMC, some are Gentle Arts. So I told you before I'm not really into the holiday stitching, so I don't have a lot of, I mean, I'm into Halloween, not so much into Christmas, so I don't have a lot of Christmas charts. So this one was a newsletter that Kitten Stitcher had sent out, that she had this kit in stock. And this is Gileget 1898. It's absolutely stunning. I love it. So I purchased this kit last year while I was in Disney World, last January. And I haven't started it yet. It's beautiful. I've shown, if you've seen this show before, I've shown this before, but Teresa just does such a beautiful job. So she put all of these on. Look at this. She has it all labeled. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful. These are Au Soie. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it on this fabric. This is a 36 count fat half of I don't know. But it's Picture This Plus. And it's this blue, beautiful blue gray. I love it. Sometimes these have labels and sometimes they don't. But I thought that these, I don't know. I see this as being gray. I don't see it as being on like a warmer fabric. I see it on as being cooler. So we'll see. This fabric is beautiful. It has some warm aspects to it. So it's like a warm gray. I don't know. Although I'm more into 40 count, but Avera Soie I think is a beefier silk, and I haven't used it, but that's what I understand. So we shall see. Oh, this is Feldspar, 36 count. I found the tag. It's right here. This is for 36 count. Picture This Plus, a Feldspar. This is a stunning kit. I absolutely love it. So, this next one is Manor at Quaker Hill by Brenda Gervais. I love it. I love these colors. I love this pop of turquoise. It's stunning. I have everything called for, the entire thing. I change colors a lot. This one I did not. I even have the called for fabric, which is 36 count legacy linen. Legacy 36 count Picture This Plus in the color Legacy, which is like a green, warm green-ish color. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I have all these on rings. Ready to go. I got this chart this past fall. This is a recent purchase. It's just beautiful. I think I saw it on the Contented Stitchers Flosstube, and I just fell in love with it. Probably because I love the color of the linen. So I believe I got this from the attic, I want to say. So I don't have the threads, but the threads won't be hard to get because I don't think there's that many colors, maybe 3 or 4. But the linen is so pretty. Oh no, I think I got this from Kitten Stitcher. This is 36 count dried primrose. It might be Fox and Rabbit, I'm not sure, but the color match is stunning. Yeah, this is from Kitten Stitcher. Beautiful. Yeah, so this pattern is done in Classic Colorworks. It only has 4 colors. So I need to go to my LYS and pick them up because she has all of these. Black Coffee, Muddy Puddle, Nature Trail, and Vanilla Custard. Too late for this Valentine's Day. For real. I think I got this from Kitten Stitcher too. Might have come in the same order. I don't know. But my friend Sue from Legacy Fiber Arts is stitching this, and I want to stitch it so badly. This is Anne Grimshaw 1818 by the Scarlett Letter. And I have a beautiful hank of NPI that I got from Colorado Cross Stitcher. She has a lot of NPI, which is really good to know. She also has that Brenda Keys sampler motif book. I'll put a link down below. I got this past fall. from Treehouse Fiber Arts. She kitted this up for me. I will not be finishing this, but I'll stitch it. This is beautiful. Autumn Pindrum by Kathy Barrick. I love it. It's so beautiful. I'm really considering doing this one. I usually start my fall stitching in the spring, so sometime in the spring. And it's kitted with LFA Linen's 36 count Boston Tea Party. And I will show you that. It's beautiful. Her dyeing reminds me a lot of Lakeside style. It's a little bit reminiscent of that. And I love this. It has all the DMCs, I believe. Oh no. Weeks. And some DMC. So all the called for. I am looking forward to starting that. I don't like to start things unless I know I'm really going to work on them. I mean, I have things that are languishing, but I try not to do that. As you all know, it doesn't always work out that way, but we can try. And I have everything organized and written down, so I know what I have. It's all in one, all my kits are in one box right here. And I'm trying to not let it get too out of hand, so if I get too disorganized, then I get overwhelmed. So I'm trying to not let that happen. This is another Scarlett house with the funky fabric that I fell in love with. Sarah Jackson. This isn't very big. I got this from the attic. And I got the Fox and Rabbit linen and the silk to go with it. And Attic's so sweet. Put it on a ring for me. Here's the linen. I think, okay, I forget the name of this linen, but it's beautiful. I just like the unusual color of it. And that's why I was drawn to it. So it's all here waiting for me if I ever want to start it. Oh, it's Eucalyptus is the name of it. I love this color, so pretty. It's this beautiful muted gray teal. So pretty. I purchased this chart when I saw Pumpkin Hollow Quilts finish it. I love it. Olga's Autumn Stocking. That cat's so cute. And I have the linen. And these threads were all in my stash, which is super cool. And here they all are. There's a lot. For this little stocking, hello, there is so many threads. And they're not organized in any way, shape, or form. But this is a piece of Seraphim, Dusty Road. And here are the threads. And that's going to be cool. So I have to decide which one I want to do. This one or the pin drum. I don't finish. I will send it off because it's not my thing. Honestly, I just like stitching and finishing. I know I could probably do it, but it would just take so much time that I'd rather be stitching or knitting. So, one is from Country Sampler. Mary Argent. I love this. It's so primitive. And I have Weeks straw, and I have all the threads. They were more beautiful when I first got it. They're not beautiful now. More. Oh, this is, I joined the berry club last year. I've shown you some of these. I have not started them. Blackberries. These are all by Erica Michaels. Raspberries. Blueberries. Super cute. But they're small, so I haven't started them. I like to bring a small with me when I'm on vacation. I brought something to Disney with me. I can't stitch on an airplane. No way. Okay, one left. This is Mary Ann Aldred. It's so pretty. This was Shepherd's Needle? I can't remember. But it was a Facebook, Instagram exclusive, I guess. And, oh, beautiful. Look at that. I haven't opened it. It's so pretty. That swan. So cool. So, that's it. That is it for the kits. I just love them. They're gorgeous. It was so fun to organize them and look through them the other day. So, yeah. As far as plans go for 2022, you know what that is. I want to finish that Modern Folk Embroidery giant sampler. I want to make some good headway on Jane Hopkins, 1875. And for the rest of the year, I'd like to work on Away We Ride on the 13th. I have a new start coming up that I'll talk about next time. That's going to be, I'm really going to try to stick to having it be a Saturday or a Sunday stitch. And I'd like to finish up Winter Rose Manor. I should be finished with Winter Rose Manor by the end of February. That shouldn't be a problem. And the only other one I really want to finish this year is Gott. She is in progress. So as soon as I finish Winter Rose Manor, she will be my evening stitch. So that's my plans. That's probably going to be most of 2022. So I'm going to try not to get too many other things because I'd like to dive into some of this. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. I'm really into stitching. I'm loving it. And it's time for the giveaway. So, I showed you last time there's some things that I am no longer interested in stitching. So, I'm going to make that part of the giveaway. So, I'm giving away all of the threads and the linen for the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's Christmas Wreath Club. I'm no longer interested in stitching this, but if you would like to stitch it, put a comment down below and just say Christmas. So I'm giving this whole thing away. I have the linen. And you don't have to use it for this. I mean, it's got a few stitches in it. I'll rip those out. It's a 28 count. Picture this plus. I don't know, but it's a beautiful neutral. It's the called for. I had it in stash, and I kitted it with all the DMC. I'm missing some of the fancy floss that they recommended, but that shouldn't be hard to get. So that's that. And as far as the pattern goes, if you win, we'll work something out for you to get the pattern. I have another pristine full kit. From the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It has everything you need to stitch Pumpkinville. which was their year-long stitch-along, I think in 2018, has all the DMCs. It has tapestry needles. It has some Kryneck, everything included. And if you win this one, we'll work something out with the pattern as well. So this is a full kit. I haven't touched it, so it could be yours. So just comment below pumpkin if you're interested in this kit, and you can enter for all of them if you want. You can put Christmas, pumpkin. I have this chart that is so beautiful, but I don't see myself stitching this for a very long time, so I'm just going to give it away. This is by Teresa's Kogut. It is Pet All the Dogs, Hug All the Cats. And you can change the dogs to cats, and there's a chart for Hug All the Cats. So if you're a pet lover and you've been wanting to stitch this, it's the chart only. So yeah, it's pretty big. It's 268 by 146. Oh, it's not huge. And it only has 9 colors. But it's a beautiful chart. The trees are stunning. So, interested in this, put cats and dogs. And the only other thing I have is this beautiful piece of shale. Picture this plus. This is 32 count. And if you would like this, comment shale. It's a really interesting piece of linen because it looks like a different color in every light. That is it. So, thank you so very much for subscribing to this little show. I love recording it. And if you want to see more, just make sure you give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love for you to be a subscriber to win the giveaway. You don't have to be. I'm not picky about that. It's fine. Make a comment down below if you want to enter the giveaway. Make sure you use the keywords that I have specified. I will put them in the description box down below as well. And that is it for today. I hope you all have a great couple of weeks. I would like to try and record a little more in February. I have more time because of I'm not working. I normally dye yarn as a little business on the side, so I won't be doing that probably till March. So I have a little time this month, so maybe I'll pop on a recording next week and do the giveaway. I want to show you some charts that I have that are not kitted. I have a few. And yeah, so have a great week. Stitch something beautiful. And cheers!